Well, welcome back to the trail. I'm just getting ready to set off. It is about 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning of a bank holiday weekend. The sun is shining already. We are heading off to Grizedale Bridge for a 14 miler. Let's get going. Well, here we are, out in the middle of nowhere, called Grizedale Bridge. It's in Lancashire. It's about 30 minutes from where I live, and as you can see, just take a look around at that landscape on the doorstep. Sun's shining and there is a great cool breeze just blowing, so it's just gonna, hopefully if that stays for the day, it'll make that searing ball of light in the sky a little bit more bearable. It's given clear skies all day, so yeah, I feel pretty good. Let's get out there. So straight away, I expected it, but this route's mostly over the moorlands, over the fells. So straight into some elevation to begin with. But I noticed on the way up, kind of drove most of it. I'm quite happy about that. Once we're up on the top, it should be a kind of straight walk between each of the peaks. You can just see behind me, far off in the distance, back home towards Preston and the coast, which we should be able to see even better from the top. Kind of glad I didn't have a big breakfast. It's uphill, but it's not steep. It's a good warm up, but already the fell runners are out. Man, it's getting warm already. It's only like 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun's already out, but the uphill doesn't help. But the more time you spend in this landscape around Lancashire, Tolkien country, you get to recognise the familiars. So I don't know if you can see on the camera, so we've all off in the distance this white ugly building here. That's Heysham Power Plant. And then all that's the coastland off towards Morecambe. And then as you follow it round, when the sky gets a bit clearer, round about here there's a tower far off in the distance, and that's Blackpool Tower, which can be seen from a fair old way away. And as we carry on round, you're going back towards Chorley and Preston that way, and off into the south. This nice town here, it's on the map. I might check that out when I get back. It's not that far from the car. But for now, we are heading up to the top of Hayshore Fell. When you're walking fells and moorland, there's not always a defined path. There's not always a, if you look at the Ordnance Survey maps, a green public footpath. A lot of the time you're just following previously marked paths that other people have done. So when you plan a route like this, you've got to be willing to adjust and maybe get a pen and mark your map out where you actually walked, because the sheep and fell runners usually find their own path to the various landmarks. And right now I'm heading towards some stones that are marked on the map as carrying inscriptions, so I'm just taking the general path that I'm actually finding already here. It's not the one I've got on my map, so you've got to play a bit fast and loose and always have some backup for direction. I mean, really, you can see why. It's landscape like this that gave Tolkien the inspiration for the sort of topography of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. And the problem now is, although I love the films, Peter Jackson films, because they were filmed in New Zealand, which obviously looks better than Lancashire, well, maybe, everyone kind of associates the rugged landscape of New Zealand, when in fact a lot of it can be ascribed to Lancashire and Yorkshire respectively. But as soon as you get up here, you feel it. You feel the sort of, I don't know what you call it, the uniqueness of British landscape. And it's so different even for such a small island. It's different up and down the country. Wales has a completely different kind of feel to it than does Scotland. So if you ever need to find a new bit of walking area, I do recommend Lancashire. There's quite a lot you can do, the Trough of Bowland, all of that, good stuff. This is moving towards Blackburn, Darwin and Dunsop Bridge, and that kind of edging towards the North Yorkshire moors, which again is another brilliant one. So highly recommend my my own patch, so to speak. I assume that says 1846. Starting to be weathered a bit. Can't really tell. Hayshore, TLF, 1846. And now we're moving up to Grizedale Head. Just can't fault the weather. It's absolutely beautiful. I do have a habit of getting up early and getting out on the trail early. Just number one, to beat any kind of crowd, so I can have the landscape to myself, so to speak. And the other is because I just miss the heat of the day. If I do get sort of to 12, 1 o'clock, I can at least know that I'm coming to the end of the walk and that there's a cold beverage waiting. But I personally don't truck with leaving it till 10, 11, then setting off. The day's almost gone, man. It's not for me. These are the best times of the day, right early on in the morning. It's just my opinion, take it or leave it. It's quite natural now to, even as stealthy as you might be, walking moorland or fells. I'm going to have to go home and see if there's a difference between moorland and fells. Don't judge me. I haven't done all my research, you know. But anyway, it's quite common. No matter how quiet and respectful of nature you are, you're bound to disturb a few pheasants every now and again. And boy do they make a racket. If you're not ready for it, you can end up soiling your pants. On a day like today with these kind of conditions, about 20 degrees, which for an Englishman, that's pretty darn hot. So I've took extra water today. I intend to drink all of it. The golden rule is if you find yourself thirsty, you've left it a little bit too long, you're on the verge of being, well, you're already dehydrated to some degree. So it's useful to just break the trip down into mouthfuls and just keep an eye on how much you've had. If you start to notice that your morale's dropping and you don't feel like carrying on, it's not necessarily that you need food, though that might be an issue. It's probably more likely you just need some water. It was well worth stopping for a minute just to have some. Always fun trying to cross these kind of places. Oh, straight in. Yeah. Oh. Straight up. So, moving up to, let me see, the old map out. Whew. Warm, very warm. Heading towards Hawthorne Thwaite. Hawthorne Thwaite, that's a mouthful. Fell top, 479 feet. Apparently we're going through Johnny Pye's Clough Top. Got to give us some credit here. We do like to give things weird names. And between here and there is my 3.5 mile marker. So that's 3.5 miles done. I think, as I said in a previous video, my day kit video, which you can go back and look at, things in my kit have changed a bit since then. Since lockdown I've been doing nothing but day hikes, so some of the kit's been changed kind of to suit what I've learned. But anyway, on that video I mentioned that I use the OS, the Ordnance Survey app. I pay the subscription for that. I think it's absolutely brilliant value for money, because I can load up the map that I want. I can create a route, custom route, just by clicking waypoints actually onto the map, and then the app itself will then tell me the mileage, the elevation, etc, etc. And then when I've done and I've saved the route to my phone, I can print it off, just the section that I want, in whichever type of map I want as well. Obviously for this I'm using OS Leisure Maps at 1:25, which is good for me, but I can even zoom in a bit more on that and print it out so it's bigger. So that's what I'm doing. So I mainly navigate with my printout, which has been laminated because I'm a complete nerd, and I bought a laminator just for that, and because I don't want to deal with a map case, which I hate. But when I'm out here like this, I do have the app on my phone, and that will actually pinpoint me on the map. And using the app you can follow the route that you've made, which I don't do. I use the paper map for that. I'm not going to give any navigation tips because I'm no expert. I think it's dangerous for me to tell you things as if it's gospel truth, when in fact I've only ever done a one-day navigation course. But I can read a map and I can navigate just using a map to some degree. But I highly recommend it if you're going to do something like this and create your own routes, and you need to go on a course and learn how to read a map. You shouldn't rely on a mobile phone, and I don't rely on a mobile phone. If my phone died now, I could easily, well, let me not use the word easily, I could definitely get back to the car with just a compass and the map that I brought. And as I'm navigating, I sometimes alternate between the two. just to make sure I'm still sharp on those skills. And that's all I'm going to say on navigation. I do believe that you should always come out with an actual paper map. You should never just come out relying on a mobile phone, and you should always have a compass and know how to use it. Like this, although I've got landmarks like this fence that I'm following, you still need to know how to read landmarks and transfer your knowledge to this map and vice versa, and you can't do that just by winging it. That's all I've got to say on navigation. So at this point I'm following my route, which conveniently, like I said, people have naturally trampled the path that I was going to follow, with the exception of a bit further on, right back at the beginning should I say. So it's all working out pretty well so far. Quite happy. A lot of birds over there just doing the thing. And I can't see because of the sun. Just going to negotiate this gully that way and up to the left. And I suspect it's very wet down there, and the greenery is looking a bit green. I don't know if you can catch all of that. A lot of seagulls just swarming around. If I didn't know better, I'd say there was a dead body. But it's not the movies. So that's probably just seagulls doing whatever seagulls do. So I've just reached the top of the hill, Hawthorne Thwaite Fell. I just came across that. That, my friends, is a trig point on its side. Let's get a closer look. And that is something you literally do not see every day. How bizarre. And I was kind of wondering, this seemed like the highest point on the map that didn't have a trig point. In fact, the trig point's down to the south. Obviously at some point it had one, because that's been there for a while. Hey ho. Good enough place to have a break though. Today's snack. Oh, free card inside. One of your 5 a day. Huddle of 4,000 penguins. Card 15 of 60. Feel like I'm going to have to collect them now. Well, I wouldn't say the taste was anything to write home about. Oh. So as I just brought my break to a finish, packed up and set off, I just started walking because I'm now following the fell around sort of to the east before coming back down. Just spotted movement off to my right and saw a guy just packing up. He'd obviously done a stealthy wild camp, which now I think about it isn't a bad spot. It's very isolated, it's not like there's a lot of traffic. So I give him a wave, let him know that I'm not his enemy. I'm going to dob him in. On my own feelings, glad you asked. If you look through my archives, I do have videos of me hammock camping and wild camping in Longridge Fell in my youth when I was younger, and at the time it seemed like a really good idea, but I could never get past the risk factor. I didn't like the idea of my car being left behind in the middle of nowhere, and I also didn't like the idea of doing something that was pricked my conscience, so to speak. We didn't have permission to be there, we didn't get the landowner's permission. This was a plantation, so it was like perfect for hammocking, but we weren't supposed to be there, we were trespassing. And over the years I've definitely moved away from that. My own thoughts, have no beef if that's what you want to do and if you enjoy it. I'd probably say if you get caught, don't cry about it. Don't make videos about how evil people are stopping you from camping on their land and then quoting obscure land laws and rights of way. Just do the right thing and say, okay, I'll get off your land, blah blah blah, and go, and don't come back. That sounds a bit harsh, that's not what I meant. But do whatever you want, but every piece of land in England is owned by somebody, so if you're there without the landowner's permission, you're kind of asking for trouble. But I can see the appeal, just not for me. Just one tree in all this. One tree. You go, little tree, you do your thing. All the hills going on and on, northward. Man, this is what I live for. Never underestimate the benefit to mental health that hiking in sort of, I don't want to say any particular area, just hiking, getting out there, stuff on your back and just getting out there. Can't get these views from your living room couch. Heading down now to what the map calls Lingy Pits. I'm no expert in naming places, but what on earth is Lingy Pits? Sounds like something you'd say to someone. Man, you stink. You got Lingy Pits. Really, man? Where did you get to today? Lingy Pits. You really stop complaining. I'm not complaining. I suppose it makes it more memorable. Not a soul in sight apart from my wild camping friend back there. Wherever he's gone, I assume he went back down the other way. I didn't see a car parked where I was parked, which is sort of like the most obvious car parking space nearby, actually at Grizedale Bridge. Well, hey ho, who knows? Here we are, Lingy Pits. You know you wanted to see it, so here it is. There's something sort of over there, don't know if you can see it, some sort of structure, but I can't really, without jumping the fence, which I'm not going to do. I can't see what it is, but this is Lingy Pits. Did it live up to your expectations? I didn't think so. It looks just the same as the rest, but it does have an interesting name, and I've no doubt probably some interesting history that I have no idea of. I do find it reassuring when I come across boot prints and even animal tracks like that sheep's foot there. Just kind of reassure me, people have been here before. I did come across a dead sheep inside I don't know what had happened, obviously. It had ended up in a bog. It's been there a while. I wonder what farmers do when the sheep go missing. Do they actually make any effort to find it, or what? I don't know. What have we got here? To avoid sensitive blanket bog, over top of blaze, moss and Holdren moss, please follow blank way markers. Thank you for your cooperation. Well, I don't know what a blank way marker is. I'll do my best. Your best! Look at that. What a nice little sort of oasis. This is, how do they pronounce it? Holdren moss? Holdren moss. Isn't that nice? A little body of water. Here's where we are. This body of water here. And I want to kind of follow the fence and then come down from the mounds to the grouse butts and then higher dry clough. There's actually a track there that I want to pick up. It takes me to my halfway point. 7 miles into Langdon Castle Ruin, and by then I'll have hopefully come off the elevation there. But we'll see. So I've kind of cut across the route I wanted to take to where it said grouse butts, so I was kind of thinking maybe these are modern grouse butts. As you can see, these kind of almost dry stone wall kind of things that carry on all the way down. I can see the land is dropping off there, so I don't think I'm going to get down that way, but I will check it out. I'm not averse to turning back. Oh yeah, how cool. Oh yeah, they must be still used. Maybe just made to look a bit better than a wooden hut. Oh, quite interesting. Which does mean that people have come up here. Which means there must be a way down. And as it turns out, that was good. There is a route down to the track, which is over there. Down these grouse butts, which have turned to be quite interesting. You can just see a few hikers coming up. I don't know if you can make that out. Good, that's a bonus. I'll have to turn back. I mean, wow, what a view. I mean, the camera's not going to capture any of this. You can just see you've got the river running all the way down. I just bumped into some lovely people there. Just got talking about up there on the moss, and it wasn't worth climbing up for them, and they got the view that they needed. And that view, wow, there isn't anything like it around here. I like being surprised. I like being surprised as you come over the hill and hit places like this. You know, starting at, what was it, Grizedale Bridge, whatever I said. And then to come down and find something like this, it just makes it all worthwhile. I'm going to be honest, there's almost no breeze down here, and I'm baking. I'm cooking now. Might have to get the idiot hat out soon. My Lawrence of Arabia hat. I look like a fool, but it works. Oh, could not have picked a better day for this. Not in your life. Oh man, shade at last. Shade. It looks like it's like a cow shed, like a lean-to. It's just nice to get out of the heat for a minute. Time to take on some water and maybe don the idiot cap. Today's lunch, peanut butter wrap. It's just energy. I don't eat that much on the trail, sorry. I think I'm even going to have this Alpenlight Jaffa cake. Told you I look like an idiot. Oh man, it works. Obviously I do have sun cream on, but just the feel of the heat burning on you. Oh no, I'll wear the idiot cap for a bit. I've nobody to impress anymore. Ah yes, the awkward moment you climb tooth and nail up a slope to find it was the wrong turn. Back down we go. Breeze is back on. So yeah, I'm supposed to be down there where this bridge is. There was a finger post to it, but I didn't make the connection that this path was the track, not the public footpath. I was distracted. I distracted myself. I burned a few calories, so I will look forward to getting home and treating myself. So, just checking with the map, just seen some people going up this path here, and according to my map, that's where I'm going. which is kind of upsetting. Ah well, be right. Man, that was a climb. Thankfully, the breeze has followed me up, but I didn't want to film any of it because I'm on the edge, and if I dropped the camera, I probably wouldn't have gone back for it. Maybe. I'd have been soul destroyed. So I've stopped here for a brew. Not a brew, I wish I had a brew. I stopped here for a break. It's kind of flattened out now. I'm going to follow. Let me have a look at the map. That was appropriately named Fiends. We're on Fiendsdale Nab. It was a fiend. And then if you look, we are going to go up this path here. You can just see cutting through, and then I think I can just see either a post or somebody walking. Can't really tell from here, but we are approaching the last leg, which is mostly, I'm pretty sure, tracked road, pretty much back to the car at Grizedale, passing the reservoir. I called it a tarn before. It's not a tarn, it's a reservoir. Good, I'm feeling good. I'm glad I had the energy boost before, even though I didn't realise what was coming up, but I needed it. So I'm going to do this a bit, get over there, stop for some water, because I am sweating. But the view, man, the view. Yeah, that's what I'm living for. 2 fell runners on something like this. Really? Why? Why? Must be gluttons for punishment. Some steep climbing. Take a look at that view though. Come all the way from down there, all the way, circled it up. Fiendsdale, you were a worthy opponent, but you didn't beat me. Nothing like paving stones. It's my kind of route. Oh man, finally made it to the top. Just guzzled 500 mils, half a litre of water. That's 2 litres drunk. I've got a litre left, which should be more than enough because I'm not expecting anything else. These are famous last words. So, it's warm. Fantastic walk though, fantastic. So the next step is to come down off the moors, fells, moors, fells, moors, and hit the road back towards Grizedale Bridge. Hopefully just some good plodding miles. Did I mention it's warm? It always bothers me when I see the groups of young people who I'm afraid look ill prepared for a day's hike. And you've got your tiny backpack, and it's 22, 23 degrees C outside. You're in shorts and t-shirt. I'm not convinced you have enough stuff, enough water, even an idiot hat like mine. I've just seen a group looking a little bit lost, but they ran off when they saw me, because obviously I'm a little bit weird looking. So they've hung around a bit, give them an opportunity if they needed any directions, but I just hope I'm not going to get lost up here. So tempting to push it over, but I'm not going to. So we're making a nice and steady decline off the moors now. I think at the bottom of this, if I remember rightly on the map, we should hit a tracked road, and then it should be a good slog back to the car. But yeah, still a long way down. Alright, so we're down, and now follow this wall all the way back down, and we'll just carry on working our way around till we get to the road. Well, at least the descent, or most of the descent, is now done. Found a shady patch. Oh man, that heat. So I'm going to drink some water. Nice. And then plod on. That's the plan. Ready for home. Probably what bugs me the most is that this is my second pair of Solomons. Now granted, the first pair were the more expensive GTX 3, I think. Don't quote me. And I really liked them, but they developed a squeak right to the very end before they died. And now these have started squeaking. These are the cheaper version, the sort of first model. And that left foot, when it's on paved ground, has developed a squeak. Mighty irritating. And that's what I'm talking about. That's farmyard service right there. Snacks and drinks on the path. Get in there. Don't tempt me, Frodo. See the car. I'm almost there. I'm back at the car. 2:30. Time did I set off? 7? Can't remember. Anyway, all done. Windows are open, car's steaming. The temperature gauge says 21 degrees. And I am sweltering. But I came here and there were no cars, now there's cars everywhere. Everybody's going to have a day hike. So anyway, I'm going to head back. Shower, nap time, maybe some editing. Yeah, maybe another one. Catch you later, guys.